Hey everybody, how you doing? It's about 6:06 and I just thought I'd pop on and say, what's happening today? I'm not sure of how many of you guys are actually following what's happening in our country with this COVID issue, but I know a lot of us people are involved in it. And the one thing I wanted to bring up today is there's a thing that says if you've been vaccinated for the virus, like the flu virus over the last 10 years, you're going to test positive for COVID. There's a good probability because in those virus strains was some COVID strains. So you might test positive, but you don't have the virus. Could be why there's so many tests positive now in our country coming up because people have been being vaccinated for over 10 years. Um, just while I bring that up and let everybody know and let you guys know that we are at a time in our country right now, guys, where we don't know what's going to happen 2 months from now, 3 months from now. Country shut down. The economy is just starting to open back up. We're at 28% unemployment, might hit 40%. And in that, other countries are in the same position except for one. And that country is the one that's caused the whole thing. So I just want to say, you know what? Might be a good time for all of us to start talking to our congressmen, our senators, the people that we elect to help run our country, to support our president, Donald Trump, and to support our products being brought back into the US from China, so we never again are in a position where we're dependent upon someone who hates us so much they're trying to take us out. And if you haven't figured that out yet, guys, you're not reading the news, you're not watching what's going on, you're drinking the tea on the narrative that's on the news media. Because the news media is preaching doom, gloom, and death to everybody, conditioning us to believe doom, gloom, and death, when there's really a lot going on that's good with the COVID immunization process. The hydroxychloroquine is very effective. It's $16 a bottle. They want you to buy something that's $2,000 a bottle so they make more money. I'm not a conspiracy theologist. I look behind what's happening. I look at what people are saying in our country, what the government's not telling you. I look at what I see and what I read and what I believe, and I make a puzzle piece. And that puzzle piece makes a puzzle eventually. And when the puzzle pieces all fit together, you can't lie. It can't lie to you. And what I've seen happening is for a long time now, this whole thing with if you've taken the flu virus vaccination over the last 10 years, you're going to test positive for COVID. Well, think about that. If they started doing that 10 years ago and we didn't know any better, we just taken the virus vaccine every year. And now here we are with this COVID thing they planned out. Well, we're testing positive. So now we have 4 times the testing positive that we'd ever have. And all of a sudden, guess what? We're in a pandemic, epidemic, and measures we don't understand, and we wonder why, and that's why. Pretty interesting, huh? Also pretty interesting that when what happened in China, it took out most of the older population. Here it's taken out most of the older population. If you're 65 or older, you got a higher chance of getting it. If you're any kind of immune deficiency, you got a chance of getting it. So this thing's designed to take out people who are ill, old, or can't take care of themselves. Interesting, huh? Pretty cool. Interesting. You think about that. There's nothing cool about the virus, but it's pretty cool to figure out that this thing has a purpose and we're subsiding and letting them take us to a place where we are, you know what? We're being cheap. There's an old joke. And the joke is, how do you catch wild hogs? How do you catch wild pigs? And the joke is, you take a bucket of corn, you go out to the woods, you find a path where the pigs go back and forth every day, and you put a pile of corn. You do that day after day for about 5 days. And then you'll notice the pigs are continually eating the corn. Then on day 5, you put up one fence panel, 16 feet long. Pigs come around, they get a little nervous, they run around the panel a little bit, and they go back and eat the corn again. Well, guess what? On day 3, you put another fence panel up. Same thing happens. The pigs are coming back every day to eat. All of a sudden, they see another panel, they get nervous, they get kind of edgy, they don't go up right away. You know what? After a little bit, they can't resist the corn, they run over and start eating the corn. 3 days later, you put up the third panel. Now you got a horseshoe. The pigs are all running into the horseshoe, eat the corn. That goes on about another 3 days, and you put up the final panel, which has got a gate in it. And now you got a completely enclosed area with a gate. You leave the gate open with a rope tied to it, so when you pull the string, the gate will slam shut. Well, guess what happens? The pigs come back, the gate's open, they run around, they're all nervous, they look at the gate, oh my God, what's this? What's this? What's going on? They're all smelling it and checking it, and a little while later, it gets too tempting. they can't not go in, so they all run in one by one into the fence where the torn is inside the gate. And guess what? You pull the string, the gate slams shut. Then guess what happens? The pigs start slamming into the fence. They beat their heads against the fence. They ram it. They ram it. They're going nuts. They're locked up. They can't stand to be locked up. They can't stand to be locked up. They can't stand to be locked up. Guess what happens though? After about 2 hours of them doing that, they stop, kind of. They stand there for a minute. They look around. Look at the fence. They look around. They look back at the corn, and they go back and they eat the corn. And 4 weeks later, guess what? You've got domesticated wild pigs. You got domesticated wild pigs. Sound familiar, guys? Sound kind of familiar what's going on with us right now? We're being fenced in one panel at a time, guys. One panel at a time. And in that process, if we don't stop before the panel goes up with the fence gate in it, we're going to have a hard time getting out of this. So that's my word for the day. We're Americans. We're Americans. We're Americans. In this country, we hold these things to be self-evident. Remember that. God bless. Take care, guys.